Hey guys, so today I have swatches of the new Nightmare Before Christmas collection from Mooncat. So you can purchase these polishes together in a set with this collector's box, which is still available right now, or you can get the polishes individually. So this is a limited edition collection consisting of 6 polishes, some nail art stickers, and a couple of accessories. The collection did launch today. There is a retractable nail art brush that I'll talk about in a little bit that sold out right away, but everything else is still available. So 6 new polishes here in these kind of special edition bottles. There are 3 kind of scattered holographic shimmer flaky combinations, and the other 3 polishes all glow in the dark. So I will link the Mooncat website down below where you guys can check these out. And real quick, before I get into the swatches, I want to show you some of the other accessories that are releasing with the collection. The nail art stickers that came out in the collection, these are available in the full boxed set as well as individually. A bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas themed images, and the nail art stickers, some of them anyway, also glow in the dark. There is this really cool retractable nail art brush, which did sell out in like 2 or 3 minutes. I'm going to keep this up here because sometimes these things can be restocked. It is limited edition, but I find that sometimes brands, if the things sell out really quickly, they will try to get a few more in stock, although no guarantees on that because this was supposed to be a one-time thing, but really neat retractable brush. I was really excited about this, and apparently I wasn't the only one. There is also a Nightmare Before Christmas themed glass nail file that came out in the collection as well. This is Mooncat's normal file, just with Nightmare Before Christmas branding. And again, I always try to show boxes if the polishes come in them, especially these, because these are a limited edition Nightmare Before Christmas themed packaging. A lot of detail went into these boxes, so I really wanted to show them to you. And even the inside of the boxes is really cool. So I think I've talked enough about tiny details. Now I will get into the swatches. So the first polish is called What a Brilliant Noise, and this is described as a white glow-in-the-dark polish filled with pink to gold shimmer. So this was sheer on the first coat, but actually more opaque than I was expecting. The formula is really good, and that pink to gold shimmer is also very strong. This and all of the other glow-in-the-dark polishes dry matte, which I think looks really cool on this one with the shimmer, but it's not necessarily intentional. It's kind of just a byproduct of it being glow-in-the-dark. It covered pretty well for me in 2 coats, but it still wasn't 100% even, so I did add a 3rd coat. I think you'd probably be good with 2 or 3, just depending on your preference, but Mooncat does suggest 3 coats for these just to get the strongest glow. So that is 2 coats of What a Brilliant Noise. And here it is in the dark. This has a really strong glow to it. Now the glow here is a lot stronger and lasts a lot longer than the last glow-in-the-dark polish that I tried, but even then it does still show up a bit brighter on camera than it is in person, but it is still really good. The next polish is called Ragdoll, and this is described as a light blue glow-in-the-dark polish filled with blue shimmer. This one is also a little sheer on the first coat. It's a little more sheer than the last polish because the shimmer in this one is a little more subtle and doesn't lend the same opacity that it did for What a Brilliant Noise. This one does also dry a bit dull. The second coat just didn't quite cover enough for me, so I did add a 3rd, but again, Mooncat suggests 3 coats for these to help them glow as bright as possible, and that 3rd coat did cover completely for me. So that is 2 coats of Ragdoll. And here it is glowing in the dark. I mentioned that my camera picked up the glow-in-the-dark pigment a bit more than it was in person, and you can see this speck glowing on my pointer finger here, and I kept trying to find that off camera so that I could like scrape it off of my finger because it was bothering me, and because my camera picks up the glow-in-the-dark pigment a bit brighter, I couldn't actually find it with my own eyes. I could only see it on the camera. The next polish is called My Bugs, and this is a light green glow-in-the-dark polish filled with green to yellow shimmer. So great formula on this one, a little bit sheer. The shimmer in there is very dense though, which does help give a lot of coverage. Again, it does dry matte, which isn't necessarily a feature, but I really like it on this polish with the shimmer. I think it looks pretty cool. This one covered completely for me in 2 coats. I could see some people maybe needing 3 for full coverage, but I don't think it's super likely. So that is 2 coats of My Bugs. So here it is glowing in the dark. I only did 2 coats of this one where I did 3 of all the other ones. I did these swatches before I had the prompt that said that they suggest 3 coats for the glow-in-the-dark polishes, but I didn't find that this glowed any less than the other polishes did with 3 coats. The next polish is called Pumpkin King, and this is described as a black polish filled with ultra-fine holographic flakies, holographic glitter, and red to orange color shifting shimmer. Good formula on this one. It's pretty opaque for a black jelly base, so it covered pretty well even on that first coat, but also just sheer enough for you to be able to see those holographic flakies and that shimmer really nicely. This covered completely for me in 2 coats, and once that black was built up really nicely, that orange shimmer stood out really well. So that is 2 coats of Pumpkin King. The next polish is called my Sandy Claus outfit, and this is described as a red polish filled with ultra-fine holographic glitter flakies and color-shifting red to pink ultra-fine iridescent flakies. This is a very nice saturated red jelly base. Those iridescent flakies that are in there are really cool. So you'd think that they would blend in with the base since they're a very similar color, but they catch the light in a way that really just makes them like glow from underneath the polish. It looks awesome. This covered completely for me in 2 coats, and it's very sparkly. It's very nice. So that is 2 coats of my Sandy Claus outfit. And the last polish is called Everybody Scream, and this is described as a midnight purple polish with ultra-fine holographic glitter flakies and blue ultra-fine iridescent flakies. The jelly here is a little more sheer than it was in the last 2 polishes. The formula is really good, and you can see all of those elements really well. I don't think that the flakies in this one glow quite as much from underneath the base as they did in the last polish, but they do still stand out nicely. This covered completely for me in 2 coats, and again, once everything was built up, you could see all of those elements really well still. So that is 2 coats of Everybody Scream. So I have 2 favorites. The first is My Bugs, My Bugs. I really, really like the glow on this. I'm not usually like a glow-in-the-dark polish person, but the glow was really bright on this one, and it charged really quickly, and it lasted really long. I really like the shimmer in this, and I always like these kind of like slimy green ectoplasm kind of shades around Halloween time. And I also really liked my Sandy Claus outfit. I'm not usually a red person, and it was a toss-up between this one and Pumpkin King, but I think the iridescent flakies in this one, those glowing iridescent flakies, is what really made this for me. They just catch the light really nicely and add a lot of dimension to the polish. So that is the Mooncat Nightmare Before Christmas collection. Again, I will link the Mooncat website down below where you guys can check these out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later.